Another month has gone and passed, which means it's time to take a look yet again at the dividend portfolio, see how much we received in dividends and what all happened this month. The bad news is I was pretty busy again this month moving in. You can see in the new house, which is exciting, but didn't have any time to work on the spreadsheet at all. The good news is that the dividend portfolio is chugging along like it always does, which is exciting. And so we're still making progress month by month, even though we're not being super active about it. So first taking a look at the spreadsheet before making any updates for February, we got a few dividend raises. The first one here from Coca-Cola, about 4%, which is nothing super crazy, but slow but steady like Coca-Cola normally delivers. Got almost 7% from 3M, so that is exciting, making up for the loss of the dividend streak, I believe. Let's see, years of increasing dividends. Oh, I guess that metric actually doesn't even work in my portfolio at this point. That's something I do need to fix. But they had, I think, well over 60 years of dividend increases and lost that streak a few years ago. I was buying 3M starting, I think, in 2022 when there was a lot of negative sentiment around the company, but I just kept averaging down, and I think my average cost is around $100, maybe even below. And you can see right now the current price is 160, so I'm doing reasonably well. And then the last one here is Cisco, about 2.5% of a raise there. So projected dividend income currently is $420, sorry, excuse me. And we'll go ahead in a minute here and update the dividends and all of the buys we made in February by going over to Fidelity, and I have transactions from the 1st to the 28th filtered out, and I can go ahead and download these transactions, save it off to my computer, and then import them into Google Sheets, and I have some scripts that run that will go ahead and parse through those transactions and put all the data in my spreadsheet where I want it to go. So we got those imported. If we just go here to dividend scripts, insert new transactions, it'll run, prompt us real quick, we'll confirm, and then it'll go through all the transactions and look at them and figure out, is it a buy? Is it a sell? Is it a dividend? Where should I put it in the spreadsheet? All right, so the script is finished and we got a number of transactions in February, and I won't go through all of them right here, but we'll look at them in more depth in a minute. We can look at dividends as well received in February. We got a number of those as well. So about $4.50 from JP Morgan, almost $4 from AT&T, $3 from Carrier Global, over $5 from APD, over $10 from Texas Instruments, just over a dollar from Apple, just over $4.50 from Procter & Gamble, 6.5 from AbbVie, $2 from Caterpillar, and just over $2 in interest on our cash. So that adds up to a total for the month of $43.46, which we can see right down here for February of 2026. And that looks like, I think if we check, I think that's our biggest total for a single month, which is pretty neat. We can see some solid progress over time there. And if we look at on the quarter so far, $68.73 this quarter. Not sure if we're going to surpass 2024, or sorry, 2025 Q4 or not. We'll just have to wait and see there. And then yearly, obviously $68 on the year so far. The next one here is invested per ticker, and this is just going to show us all of the companies and how much we invested in them this month. So I think all the bottom ones here are just dividend reinvestments. Yeah, we can see these are just dividend reinvestments for the most part, all of these here. And then the rest are ones we actually purchased. So $20 of Travelers, $20 of Southern Company, $20 of Coca-Cola, $20 of 3M, probably about $20 in our original purchase of JP Morgan, and then we had that dividend reinvestment as well. And then almost $100 of Microsoft and HP each. Got Microsoft below $400, and HP has been, I would say, walloped recently, and so it's been below $20 and got my average for the month of February below 19 actually. So I still have confidence in HP, and so I'm just averaging down and using this as an opportunity to build my position more. Now we'll go back to the main summary page and see where we're at. Portfolio value is up a little bit, still just under $18,000. We've been right around that mark as the market has just kind of fluctuated up and down a little bit here and there. And we can see dividend income went up by about $10 this month. So that's pretty exciting just from investing more in these companies, and some of that is just from dividend reinvestments. We can see equity by sector, dividend income by sector if you want to pause there and look at that, or if you want to pause and look at any of these positions, there they are. The next one we'll look at is upcoming dividends. So this shows us all of the dividends we're going to receive over the next year, and we got a lot coming in March, as we can see. Let's look here. Our projected total, I think, for March is $36.84. So that is lower than I expected, but that's okay. I guess that's how it goes. Some months are higher, some months are lower. Uh, but that's what March is looking like. Most of these, the ex-dividend dates are already passed. And if we look over the next year, most months are going to be right around $30 to $35. But that's assuming we don't add anything to the portfolio. So that's projecting also $430 in dividend income. So pretty close. It might be the exact number actually. Pretty close, but it's off just a little bit from this calculation by about 10 cents. So it's not 100% perfect, but I think that this gives a pretty good idea of how much you're going to receive in dividends every single month, which I like to see. And then we can also look at these charts here. Value over time, getting close to $20,000, just steady progress. This portfolio has been around over 5 years now. I only have data going back to 2022, so about 4 years of data now. 5-year CAGR around 5%. Like I've said, I want to bring that up. So we're going to work on that. And it looks like my payout ratio data is probably messed up because I don't think it's 0%. Dividend income steadily going up, and dividend yield around 2.5%, it looks like here. So steady progress. Don't see any major red flags. The only thing I really want to work on now is 5-year dividend CAGR. You see it really fell off over the last 2 years or so, and I want to work to improve that again. So the last metrics we'll look at here is returns, and we can see over the last year, well, actually year to date, we're definitely beating the market, up 7.43% on an annualized basis is what we're seeing. And the market year to date is just barely up a little bit, less than 1%. So over the last 1 year, we are at about 14.5% to the market's 17, so lagging the market a little bit there. And then last 3 years, really lagging the market, 14.5% for us compared to over 21% for the market. But we have a little bit stronger 5-year performance compared to the market, 13.8 compared to 14.2 for the market. So pretty close there. If our portfolio and the market kind of continues on the same trajectory that it's been on for the past few months, I think our 1 year performance will soon surpass the markets. But again, who knows what's going to happen with the market relative to my portfolio. And we might get close at some point soon to surpassing the market on the 5-year performance. But most of the time, we've seen this number here for 5-year performance. My portfolio has been lagging behind the market a little bit, which is unfortunate, but also not super unexpected, just because it is really difficult to beat the market over that period of time and longer. And I would say for a lot of the time that I've been an investor, and still now, I'm not an expert really in most anything. I would say I have a good understanding and a good level of knowledge, but I'm not an expert. And I also, these days, haven't been putting a ton of time into, picking stocks or anything like that. For the most part, it's just been sticking with the companies I own and investing in them more when I see opportunities and I think they're at reasonable valuations. So, uh, definitely maybe a little bit lazier as an investor these days, but I also don't want to make it super complicated and take up a ton of time. I want it to be something that is there and generating returns, but is doing the work for me, so to speak, and not something that I have to actively go out and do all the time in terms of research and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of my portfolio is just in the S&P 500 and overall market, and this dividend portfolio is just a small chunk of my investments. So that's kind of where I'm at with my portfolio and my thoughts moving forward. The one thing I do want to improve, like I've said the past few months, is my dividend CAGR. Want to continue buying companies like Microsoft, Texas Instruments, HP that have high rates of dividend growth, and I think there's some other ones in the portfolio that I'm missing. And obviously, buying companies as well that I think are going to have high rates of dividend growth in the future, not just ones that do right now. So let me know what you do think of the portfolio in the comments down below, any improvements I could make. I am, like I said, going to try to make progress on the portfolio tracking spreadsheet this month. And if we're lucky, maybe get some sort of release out there. But at this point, I'm not promising anything for sure. But let me know if you're looking forward to that. If you do have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. And I'm always looking for ideas for new features or new ways that people want the portfolio tracking spreadsheet to work. If you do have any suggestions there, like I said, let me know. And as always, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.